America's Next Top Models whose stories shock the world.
One day you looked and you saw what happened to you.
They're women in need of healing.
My teeth just started breaking. I hate it.
Now, Tyra and the top models are giving back.
I'm gonna hook you. Oh my God!
See how many lives will change in one day.
Come on out, Mama. I have one more surprise for you.
Now on Tyra.
America's Next Top Model, you see a lot of behind-the-scenes drama and the struggles that the girls go through to achieve their modeling dreams. You see all the drama. But even I don't know everything about the girls on the show, and the truth is, many of them have overcome these really big obstacles in their lives. And when we were preparing for this show today, I was like, she did what? And what? I had no idea, and I'm like their mama. I'm supposed to know all this stuff, and I don't. I learned a lot, and you guys are gonna learn a lot about them today, too. And they're really grateful for their top model experience, and they wanna give something back. So get ready, because some of our favorite contestants from Top Model are here to pay it forward, Tyra style. And they are becoming the top model role models that they were born to be, everybody. Now, you all know our first model from Cycle 10. Check her out.
I was born in Somalia, so sometimes I feel like the outcast.
Fatima endured a childhood scarred by poverty, civil war, and worse.
When I was 7 years old, I was circumcised.
Her powerful story gave her the chance to inspire others.
Hopefully I'll be a role model for a lot of young women.
But her constant conflicts
Are you kidding me?
and uncertain immigration status undermined her efforts.
I'm not a U.S. citizen, and it definitely makes the competition harder for me.
Fatima finished as Cycle 10's second runner-up.
She's our very own Mini Iman. Come on out here, Fatima. You looking so lovely.
How are you?
I'm so good. Have a seat. Well, that hair all slicked back.
I had to do something with it.
So first off, I heard that things that I didn't even know, that Top Model really, truly changed your life.
Yes.
Your relationship with your mom, and tell me about that.
Oh my God, it has. First of all, I didn't even know I could get signed with agencies, because I was just like, me modeling? No way. And then the show really helped me like sign with an agency, and like I'm just doing so much better as a model, and it helped me like be really comfortable with my body. As a Muslim woman, I was just very, you know, insecure about my body. I didn't want to show it to anybody. And actually being on the show when we were in the Brooklyn Bridge posing with the lingerie, that was so challenging for me. And I was just like,
oh China always pose in lingerie on bridges. But it's interesting, culturally it's different, you know.
Yeah,
for me it's just normal, and for you it was a big deal.
Exactly. I grew up in a very modest culture where you don't reveal your body, so I was just like, oh my God.
And your relationship with your mom is closer now because of Top Model. How did that happen?
Definitely. My mother is just, I don't think she knew who I was until I went on the show. I felt like she was listening to me for the first time on TV, and like after the show she was just like, we were so much closer. She understands me so much more, and I love my mother to death, and I think that's what we were missing in the show. Really,
it
helped me, like, helped us communicate. There was that, like, miscommunication between us, so it's just...
It's helped. And I know you divulged something and revealed something on Top Model, actually during the casting process, to me, that was very shocking. And something that you've gone through. Why don't you share with everybody what that is?
Well, you know, as you guys watch the show, I was circumcised when I was little. I was 7 years old. It's a very positive thing in my country. I don't know.
Tell them where you're from.
I'm Somalian. My mother's Somalian, my father's Ethiopian. And
Can you explain what female circumcision is?
yeah, it's basically female genital mutilation is a process that young girls go through to secure a woman's sexuality, to be pure, to, you know, so that you can't have sex until you're married.
You cannot have sex until you're married.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You
And the
cannot-
procedure can be very, very...
Yeah,
it's-
it varies from different types. There's incision, there's clitorectomy, and infibulation.
Do you guys know what that
And-
is? So a clitoralectomy is cutting off the clitoris,
Yeah.
which is a sensation part of a woman. They also will sew up your vagina. Yep, where you can only have enough room to have your period, and there's other things too. And so you, I know it was very traumatizing. How old were you?
I was 7. I was circumcised with other young girls who are around the same age as me. It's a very ritual experience, actually. It's a passage from a girlhood to a womanhood. So for me, when I was being circumcised, there was actually a young girl that died in the process because...
That day?
That day,
Wow.
because it's very unsafe. There are a lot of older midwife women who practice this, and they don't know... They were not licensed to do anything. You're not a doctor, so she actually cut
She
the wrong
died.
vein, and she bled to death.
Wow.
And that's what made me want to speak about this issue.
You had this experience, but you weren't exactly sure what happened to you. When you entered college, there were all these girls saying, I had sex last night, I did this with my man, blah, 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 and you weren't intimate because you weren't comfortable with yourself. And I know one of your college mates said, as a woman, you should look at yourself and see what is down there. And she wasn't even talking about circumcision, just in general, just being aware of what is there. And one day you looked and you saw what happened to you, and what specifically was the procedure that happened to you?
Well, I was very sheltered for the rest of my life. Like high school, I never dated, I never did anything. And then college, I went to an all-girls college. And I had a lot of girlfriends, you know, they told me to examine myself, and one day I did. And I realized that I was different, and that, you know, I wasn't open, and I started doing research, and I realized that the most extreme part of circumcision was done to me, and that's actually very common in Somalia. 98% of the women go through that. It's infibulation.
Infibulation, so it's everything.
Everything. It's, well, what they do is they cut part of the clitoris, and then they sew you together so you don't have sex. And to be honest, I didn't know what to think. I went through a few months of, I guess, depression almost, where I kind of just didn't want to talk to anybody, and I just wrote, and I wrote poetry, and I wrote, and I wrote, and I wrote. And I used to perform at colleges, and I used to do poetry slams, but never as myself. I always did it anonymously because I didn't want people to think that, you know, it was me, and then I didn't want guys to think I was a freak. So actually the first time I've ever revealed this about myself was on national television.
On America's Next Top Model?
Yes.
On America's Next Top
On
Model.
America's Next Top Model.
Fatima is about to give a very special woman a very big surprise. And I'm going to send you backstage. And I think this is so beautiful that you have experienced something very traumatic, and want to pay it forward with somebody that has experienced something very similar.
Thank you.
But she loves you, and I want to surprise her with you. So you're going to have to go backstage and hide right now. And we'll take a break. Okay? We'll be right back. Up next.
Opened me very hard. You know, they just cut me. And all my blood went out.
Top model Fatima gives Miriam a big surprise.
I have somebody here today, and now I'm gonna cry. He wants to see if he can help.
Oh, my.
And later, I pay it fashion forward and make an aspiring model's dreams come true.
So you're gonna be here, and you're gonna be on set of a high fashion shoot to see how it really happens. We just heard a touching and shocking story from top model finalist Fatima, and she feels blessed, actually, and she wants to pay it forward to another young woman. They haven't met, but Fatima and this next woman share a very common bond. Check this out.
Miriam was born and raised in Dakar, the capital of Senegal, which sits on the northwest edge of Africa. And even as a young girl, Miriam knew that female circumcision was an unavoidable fact of life in Senegal.
I'm a victim with Jonathan Cut. Why they're doing that is they don't want you to lose your vision before you get married, because if you 15 years old, they give you man. They say you're ready to get married.
When Miriam was 13 years old, her older sister and her aunt woke her at dawn one morning and brought her to a stranger's house on the edge of the city.
I see like this lot of children there on the line, 6 years, 5 years, you know, waiting for the circumcision. And then, you know, they crying all the time. I see somebody